And we are live. Hello, guys, and welcome to Jay and Toby in the morning. Thanks for joining us today. If you are not familiar with us, we are a morning show that is the sister show to the main Jason Hebert channel, where I interview loved ones of missing persons and unsolved crimes in an effort to help spread awareness and bring justice to the families. Today on the show, a man is accused of murdering a Missouri transgender woman after meeting her on a dating site. A New York federal judge is killed in Florida by a hit-and-run driver. A man is finally arrested for the fatal shooting of a pregnant woman in her car last year, and much, much more. This morning show is a bit of an extension to that nighttime program and works a bit differently. Instead of interviewing the subjects, we cover some news on this morning show, and we instead take a look at stories from a third-party perspective and give our own opinions of them versus interviewing them, as well as communicating with you, the subscribers, through the chat in an effort to get to know you guys better. We also raise money during the show to support the efforts required to find the families we interview, research their cases, promote the stories, and everything else that comes with the time-intensive processes that have come to make up the nearly 125 interviews we have on our main channel. So we do appreciate anyone who can donate to support. If you wish to do so, the link is in the description of the video, right above or below it, and will be being posted throughout the show in the chat. Anyone who does donate will get a couple cool perks. First off, we'll put your name on screen for the duration of the show, and to give you guys credit. And lastly, every donation comes with a treat for our co-host here, Mr. Toby. So any donations that come in, get him a treat. Just something fun that we do to give a little bit more incentive to everyone who might want to, looking at email there, to everyone who might want to help out. So let's get started. The first 10 minutes, we call it the lightning round. Any donations that come in, give Toby double treats. So even more incentive. So Toby loves the lightning round, the first 10 minutes. So it's 10:05 right now, we'll call it. So we'll do it till 10:15 Eastern time. Hello, guys. We have Chris, Marissa, Shells, Chris, I already said Chris, Marissa, Shells, and we get about 12 people here just coming on in, but we'll give them a few minutes to get settled in and begin chatting. If you would like to support the show, as aforementioned, I will put the link in the chat to do so. And lastly, when I say that we credit you throughout the show, here is what we do. We put stream supporters. As of right now, you will see N/A. Hey, Noel. Long time no see, my friend. You'll see N/A right now since nobody has yet donated. At least I don't believe so. I have to load everything up. And we'll put the link one more time, just so you guys know throughout the show. Oh, we got a heart. That's new. I think that's from one of our Facebook watchers. Oh, okay. Laurie Thompson. Hey, Laurie. Thank you so much for joining us. I've never seen that heart like that, but typically we don't broadcast to Facebook. It's something new I'm trying today. We're broadcasting to both Facebook as well as YouTube, of course. If you're watching on Facebook, I don't know that you can see what I type in the YouTube chat, just so you know. So if you're on Facebook and want to see the chat better, you might jump on into YouTube. But either way, you can see the show just fine. Let me just load the main window here so that when you guys do donate, I'll be able to see it instantly and give you guys your shout out and credit. And sometimes the emails take quite a bit to come in. All righty. And so let's get started here. Yeah. So we don't have any yet. All right. So let's see within the first 10 minutes of the lightning round if we can get anyone coming on in. But let's get started with some news. As I mentioned when the show started, got a couple interesting stories for you today, as well as some updates and some that we covered in previous weeks. First, a man is accused of murdering a Missouri transgender woman after meeting her on a dating site. Dominique, spelled Lucius. I don't know if it means to be luscious. We'll say Lucius for now. Dominique Lucius, 26, loved herself how she was, and that's what made everybody adore her. Says the quote. This is Dominique. I believe she is the transgender woman. Hey, Sarah. Welcome. Love you always too, sweetheart. Thank you so much. She's talking to me, Toby. No, she's talking to me, says Toby. We're fighting over her. Yes, I can throw the heart out for Toby. I just threw the heart out. Okay. Thanks, Laurie. Okay, cool. So I actually can see the Facebook comments. Awesome. I love that. I couldn't before, so that must be a new StreamYard feature. And hopefully you can see mine. So let me show you guys, Dominique. I'm going to guess it's maybe Luscious. I know that they have their, they make cute little names like that. Thank you, Sarah. This is my boy. He's the co-host. He does a great job. Is everybody here familiar with our main show where we interview the loved ones of missing persons? I hope you guys make sure to check that out. This show kind of serves as an add-on to that show. I try to make sure everyone's aware of the main show we do here before they see this one, because it makes a little more sense what we're doing here if you know our main show. So a woman in Missouri was shot to death after meeting her alleged assailant on a dating site, according to police, who have a suspect in custody. The victim, 26-year-old Dominique Luscious, was the 14th transgender person and the 9th Black trans woman killed in 2021, says the National Black Justice Coalition, a civil rights organization that advocates for the Black LGBTQ community. She loved herself how she was, and that's what made everybody adore her. I'm sorry, with the setup I have right now, I got the camera right in front of where I'm reading, so you're going to see me going around like this a lot. I do apologize for that. Luscious's cousin Ciara Williams told Springfield TV station KY3, if she had her red lipstick and her red nails, she didn't care what you had to say about her, and I love that so much about her. Her killing comes after a tragic number of lives lost in 2020, in which the Human Rights Campaign recorded at least 44 deaths of transgender and gender nonconforming people. About 7 in 10 of those were killed by an acquaintance, friend, family member, or intimate partner, the organization reported. And of course, we do know that, good morning, Facebook user. We do know that that is common amongst, all deaths and murders and bad crimes. It's typically somebody that the person knows very, very well, unfortunately, which makes it even sadder in my eyes. If there's one person you don't want to see taking you out of this world, it's probably somebody that you love and care about. But unfortunately, that's usually who does it. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm just looking at an email. Alrighty. Well, our hearts go out to Miss Dominique, and I hope that, our family is able to deal with everything and put her to rest well and get through this horrible tragedy that they're going through. You never want to see something awful like that happen to anybody. So she was just on a dating website, like everyone has the right to do, trying to meet people, it looks like, trying to meet friends, meet significant others, whatever, like anyone else, and loses her life over it. And that's never okay. Our next story, New York federal judge Sandra Feuerstein killed in Florida by a hit-and-run driver. Best day ever, having a shout-out from you. Oh, thank you, Sarah. We appreciate that. Here's Sarah's profile there. New York federal judge Sandra Feuerstein killed in Florida by a hit-and-run driver. A 6-year-old boy was also struck in the hit-and-run and sustained non-life-threatening injuries. Extremely sad that for a 6-year-old to be hurt in a terrible accident, but we are happy to hear that it is non-life-threatening. That is for sure. Hey, Mary, thanks for joining us. So a New York federal judge has died. She was 75 years old. Feuerstein was killed in a hit-and-run accident on Friday while she was vacationing in Florida, ABC News reported. What a horrible time to go when you're just trying to relax on vacation. So an elderly person and a child hurt in this accident. The two people that you pray you don't end up hurting. You don't want to hurt anybody, but you surely don't want to hurt an elderly person or a child. So our hearts do go out to them. She was struck by a red Honda in Boca Raton while walking along Ocean Boulevard, according to police. A 6-year-old boy was also hit. Both were taken to Delray Medical Center, where Feuerstein was later declared dead. The boy was treated for non-life-threatening injuries, police said. It doesn't quite say what those injuries were. Maybe an arm or a leg was hurt. Investigators found that the car that struck Feuerstein and the boy was going northbound before crossing over the southbound lanes and driving onto the sidewalk, hitting Feuerstein. Oh, tragic. It's one thing if you made a mistake and you fell into traffic or something like that, but to just be walking along the sidewalk and you get hit, that is awful. The Cardozo community mourns the passing of U.S. District Judge Sandra Feuerstein. She was class of 79, it looks like it's saying. This is the Cardozo School of Law. Former President George W. Bush appointed Feuerstein to the bench in 2003. She previously served as a New York State judge for 16 years. Our thoughts are with her family at this time. It looks like Ms. Feuerstein stayed in each role for quite a while, looking to do a good job and make a difference in our community. Excuse me, guys. Coffee's still a little hot. Hey to Mary, Marissa, Noel again. We got Chris here. We got an awesome group. Hey, Mike, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us. Mike's over on Facebook. Okay. So I think that's when, Mike, you typically watch via Facebook, huh? I notice when I stream there, we get you hanging out a little bit. Did everybody watch our interview last night? It was a sad one. Poor girl. Never really got to know her father at all, really, because she was 3 years old when he left her. So we interviewed her. She didn't know a ton. Typically, some of the cases have a lot more, information to offer than others. But since she was 3 years old when he left, there were a lot of things she didn't quite know. But I feel we got a good amount of information out of her, and just extremely sad story of a girl just trying to find her father, which she never really got to know. We have 2 minutes left on the lightning round. So far, no donations coming in. If you would like to be the first one to support, that is the link to do so there. For the next few minutes, it's the lightning round, and Toby gets double treats. Oh, Marissa says I have to go back and watch it. I can't seem to stay awake past 9 anymore. I'm sorry, Marissa. I have times like that. I'll have a few months where I can't sleep at all, and then I have times when I can't stay awake past 10. And sometimes it lasts for months at a time. But I would say I strongly prefer the times when I can't stay awake versus the times when I can't sleep. That is literally the worst of the worst, when you just can't fall asleep and you want to so bad. There's not too much worse than that. We have Annie here. Starting tomorrow, we're going to start. It sucks getting all in on Marissa. Tell me about it. We have Annie here. Starting tomorrow, we're going to start, after we do the news, we're going to start doing some in-depth looks at cases on this channel. And Annie will be the one responsible for bringing you a lot of those, as well as Watcher, who's not here today, but she is here on most shows. Lately, we haven't been getting all of our people coming together at once. A lot of our regulars that make most shows that were here in the beginning. It seems rare that we get them all together at once. I kind of miss that, so I hope that we have a few shows where everyone gets together. We shout out Navy Vet. I hope she's doing well. Watcher, she's not here. A lot of our regulars. Angela. Quite a few. That's why I'm late working on research. Okay. See? Didn't I tell you guys she's amazing? Working on research for our wonderful show here that we are trying to grow. All right. Well, it's 10:15. Nothing came in. T has been really swamped. It is tax time. Okay. I get that. So lightning round over, but whatever the first donation to come in is, that will be the one that gets Toby double treats. So as far as Mrs. Feuerstein, the car kept going and eventually crashed in Delray Beach, according to a police report obtained by ABC News. The suspect, Natasha Snape, S-N-A-P-E, Snape, I'm going to say Snape, I guess, was arrested and charged with vehicular homicide, leaving the scene of an accident involving death and leaving the scene of an accident with injury, police said. That's one thing, anybody can get in an accident and hurt somebody. Unfortunately, it's something that happens. Almost always an accident, of course. But you don't want to leave the scene because that turns it from just an accident to a whole different thing. Of course, it's understandable. They panic, they freak out, they want to leave before they get in trouble. But you got to stay, make sure the person gets the proper help and care, and you can't just run. You got to just deal with what has happened. So Snape, 23, was reportedly disoriented and aggressive when first responders arrived on the scene of the second crash, according to an affidavit obtained by the Washington Post. Drugs were later found in Snape's car, according tea salts. I don't know what those are, which police said are known to cause erratic, excited, delirious-like behavior. Is that a drug, tea salts? Are those like bath salts? Oh boy. Hope they're not like bath salts. Those things are a nightmare. If you heard the story, if you remember the stories years ago of people eating people's faces and all kinds of stuff, those are bath salts. Just chemicals people throw together that are chemically and structurally very similar to popular drugs like meth or something, but they change one little chemical in it so that it's technically not meth anymore, or whatever they're imitating, and stuff like that happens. Yeah, zombies, Mike, exactly. Really, really weird stuff. So Snape was taken to Delray Medical Center and later booked into the Palm Beach County Jail, where her bond was set at $20,000, ABC News reported. It's not clear if Snape has obtained legal representation or has entered a plea at the time. We have our first donation of the day from Miss Laurie. So we get Toby his double treat after all. Laurie coming in for $5. Thank you so much, Laurie. We appreciate you greatly. And I know someone who appreciates you even more than usual. He's sitting right next to me. That's the Toby man. So let's take a moment, give Toby his double treats for our first donation of the day. All right, what do you say? Oh, you don't want it? Oh, you do want it. Okay. Say thank you to Laurie. All right. He gives a little hand wave to everyone as a thank you. He is the Toadmeister. There's one, buddy. And two. All right. Toby is the man. 17 years old and still going. And is that another one? Hang on. 2 treats for that beautiful puppy, says Laurie. Oh, and actually, T. Wilson came in right afterwards. I didn't see that one. Sorry, T. For another 10. So you know what? They came in at about the same time, which is why I didn't see them right away. Oh, and we get a third one in. Oh, you guys are awesome. You know what? I'm going to count all 3 since they all came in at once as a double treat for the Toby. So he says thank you to Laurie for her 5. And then thank you to T for her 10. Hi, T. Thank you. We miss you. We're going to start doing many more of our nighttime shows, T, back to how we used to do it. It's been a struggle lately here at the Hebert household. So it's been really tough trying to get everything done. That's why I've been doing a lot more morning shows, and I haven't been able to do the nighttime shows lately. I know, T-Mac. Were you Facebook user yesterday, too? Because you're coming in as Facebook user. It doesn't say T-Mac. I didn't know that was you yesterday. If that was you. I don't know if it was you or another Facebook user. But 1 treat for T. Hey, buddy, you're dropping it. Hey, you turn 1 treat into 3. There you go. That's how you do it. Take this last piece. Okay. Was that you yesterday, T? Were you in the interview? Because we had someone who was under Facebook user yesterday. I didn't know who they were, but they seemed like they maybe knew me. So I'm guessing now that was you. And our last donation comes in from Mary, who donates $20. So we got 5 from Laurie. You guys give me 1 second. 10 from T. Give me a minute, Toby. You'll get that double treat. Stop staring. He's like, come on, baby. And doing it kind of backwards here. And 20 from Mary. You guys are awesome. Thank you so, so much. We've been having, the shows have been doing a lot less lately. I don't just mean the support, but just as far as the people who come and stuff. So it's been a little concerning. So I'm glad to see today's a decent turnout. We get almost 20 people here. We get some support coming in. It's going good so far, right, Toby? Oh, you have to accept StreamYard for it to show the name. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Can you accept StreamYard, T? Does it not let you? I didn't make it in yesterday, but went to look for stuff on the night show. Oh, okay. So maybe that was another person just on Facebook. I'm guessing there could be like 20 Facebook users at once. It's probably just everyone who didn't accept the StreamYard software, like Mike said. You're spilling it everywhere today, dude. What are you doing? Get with the times. Here. Right here. His vision's kind of bad. So he can't even see whole pieces, never mind little half pieces. All right, guys. So thank you so much. Let's make sure that we get everybody out there. Okay. So thank you to Mary, T, and Lori, our first 3 supporters who all got Toby double treats in our lightning round. We extended the lightning round a little bit, but you know what? Toby deserves it because he's the cutest. Sarah says, I've accepted it. Quite straightforward. Okay. Yeah, I can see your name, Sarah, so it looks like you accepted it. Thank you so much. Okay, well, our hearts go out to the families of Miss Feuerstein, the federal judge. She's out there trying to do good for the world. So let's please make sure that, the funeral goes good, and I hope everything is okay with her family. I'm so sorry for what you guys are going through. Next, we have a pregnant woman who was fatally shot last year in her car. A man was just finally arrested for it. So it took almost a year for them to figure out who might have done this. And it looks like the suspect arrested was found living in Mexico. His name is Robert Penaloza Jr. And that was for, what's her name here? I'm so sorry. Amethyst Cortez. Whoa, okay. We just talked about this yesterday, as a matter of fact, but we didn't have the suspect's name. And let me show her real quick. This is Amethyst Cortez. Who? I think it was Pookie who asked me to look this up yesterday. Was it you, Pookie? You're here right now, right, Pookie? Yeah, we were talking about it, but it didn't give us the name of the suspect. It just said a man was arrested. So it looks like he is Robert Penaloza Jr. California man wanted in connection with the 2020 killing of a pregnant woman and her unborn child has been taken into custody after allegedly fleeing to Mexico. Robert Penaloza Jr. is behind bars in Stanislaus County Jail on 2 counts of murder in connection with the August 2020 death of Amethyst Cortez, who was 27, and her unborn baby, according to a Turlock Police Department news release. It was you? Okay, cool. Hey, Brittany. Hey, everybody coming in. Got about 20 people here. This is exciting. Getting a little crew back. We had a few rough days there. I think maybe I was doing too many shows or something. So we'll have to keep tweaking it and see what works best to get you guys in here. Just checking to see if I try to keep an eye on if any donations come in so we can credit you guys. Penaloza was identified by police as a suspect early on in their investigation. However, authorities learned he had allegedly fled to Mexico immediately. Okay, so I took back what I said about it taking a long time to find out who he was. They just had a long time finding him, figuring out where he was. So this is the man. Nice tattoo on the forehead and the neck. Hey, Mike, real quick. Sorry to everyone who isn't one of my childhood friends. Mike, are you familiar with the RPG Suikoden? Mike was one of my game players when we were kids. We played video games together constantly. Suikoden. Me and him loved RPGs, but one that I fell in love with after he moved away was a franchise called Suikoden, which became my favorite. Are you familiar with that franchise, Mike? Are you a fan of it? Or, yeah, 2 questions. Are you familiar with it, and are you a fan of it? In January, an arrest warrant was issued for Penaloza, who was believed to be living in Tijuana, Mexico. California authorities worked with police in Mexico, who located him, arrested him before turning him over to U.S. Marshals. In addition to the murder, Penaloza is charged with shooting into an occupied vehicle and felon in possession of a firearm. Attorney information was not available Monday morning. According to CBS 13, Cortez leaves behind 7 other children. Jeez. Oh. You still here, Mike? Mike might have taken off, or maybe he's a few minutes behind. Both are possible. I need my childhood friends. Yeah, Mike, me and Mike still in touch. Thankfully to Facebook. We lost touch over the years, like, most people do with their childhood friends. And thanks to Facebook, we got back in touch. He moved away when he was about 13. We kept in touch till we were like 15, and then, life got in the way as it does. But now we are back in touch. But I think he might have Mike might have flew the coop. Or maybe he's just off doing things with his kids. I myself still have no kids. Mike, 3 kids. So he is a busy man. It's one of the reasons we don't get to hang out too much anymore. But that's everybody. As we grow old and the kiddos start popping up. So a Virginia officer who pepper sprayed an Army medic during a traffic stop is fired. If you joined us either yesterday or the day before, we did cover this. We played the video. And yeah, I have to say, whether or not they should have pepper sprayed him, I don't know. I don't have much of an opinion on that. I don't know. But I don't like when people get pulled over by police and instantly turn on their phone, like it automatically proves them right, and then start screaming no what the police officer asked them to do. You can't do that. And it kind of shocks me a little when they win in those cases. Because just do the right thing, go through the motions, follow the officer saying, and you usually be fine. But from what I could see of this guy, he kind of just started screaming and doing nothing that they said. But apparently they did something wrong here because the cop has lost their job. So Joe Gutierrez, who's accused of using excessive force during a traffic stop of Lieutenant Karan Nazario, has been dismissed. And let me show you guys the picture. You'll remember the picture instantly if you saw the video. There we go. Same exact angle we watched it from. Looks like Mike is taking off. Okay. I'll shoot him a message. Actually, let me do one thing before I get going here, guys. Okay, 1 second. Give me a second, guys. Oh, I just saw. Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry, guys. I had to send somebody a quick message. All right. I used to get harassed by an officer every time I went to town. The only reason I don't now is because I don't drive anymore. I did get a desk here. Oh, wow. Oh, no, listen. I'm not someone that takes some kind of stance in that. The stance I take is I look at every situation for what it is. And there are tons of scenarios that go both ways for me. Tons of them where I go, wow, that officer was ridiculously out of control. And then many where I say, what is that guy doing? You're starting a fight with the officers, It goes both ways. Believe me. Some people seem to automatically side with the people, automatically side with the officers. Whatever. I don't do that. I look at each one, So what happened here? Police officers in Virginia held Lieutenant Karan Nazario at gunpoint, handcuffed him, and doused him with pepper spray, all during the course of what Nazario alleges in a lawsuit was an illegal traffic stop. In a statement Sunday, the town of Windsor, Virginia, said that Officer Joe Gutierrez was fired following the December 5th incident. Nazario, a second lieutenant for the U.S. Army Medical Corps, who is Black and Latino, is suing the town for $1 million. Wow. In I can't say that word. Compensatory damages. Compensatory. It's really not a hard word. Why can't I say it? There are certain words my brain and lips just can't seem to work together to say. One of them being rural. R-U-R-A-L. Rural. I'm like, rural. I can't say the word. It's not a hard word to say. Two syllables. Still can't say it. Rural. I feel like I have a mouthful of gum or marbles when I try to say it. I'm like, rural. In December, Nazario was driving his SUV when Windsor police officer Daniel Crocker attempted to pull him over for having no rear license and tinted windows. The vehicle was new and Nazario didn't have permanent license plates just yet, but had cardboard temporary plates on the inside of the rear window, according to Nazario's lawsuit, as cited by CNN. According to a report Crocker submitted after the incident, which was also included in the court filing, Crocker said the military officer was eluding police and he considered it a high-risk traffic stop. So that's kind of why they went at it aggressively, of course. It does go both ways. I feel bad for the good cops because the bad cops are putting them in danger and making their jobs harder. Exactly, Laurie. That's exactly how I feel. I've known plenty of cops in my life, plenty of good people, plenty of bad people. They're like any other kind of person, so I try to give everyone a chance, Plenty of good and bad cops and plenty of good and bad regular people driving in traffic stops, so you never know where the fault lies. But there seems to be this new why salute him? Oh. The guy arrested him. I think she just means like to tease him. Ironically, she salutes him. That would be my guess, right? But what was I saying? It's gonna make a good point. Good point to me, anyway. Oh, he's a sergeant now. Anyway, footage. Oh yeah, there seems to be a new thing where if somebody puts their phone on, they instantly feel like, look, see what they're doing? Like they're automatically in the right. Like because I'm recording it, I'm automatically in the right, and what you're doing is wrong. I don't know why people feel that way now. If you record and you're the one doing something wrong, recording it doesn't help. It actually hurts. I don't know. Call me crazy. But anyways, so far, thank you to Mary T. and Laurie. If you would like to support the show, this is the link to do so. To get Toby his next treat. And the next one that comes in, we'll get Toby a double treat. We'll do it one more time. So whoever the next person is to give a donation, we'll get Toby double treats. So he's sitting there like, come on. If you see him getting antsy, treats. Then the officers tell Nazario to open the vehicle door and step out, to which he replies, I'm not getting out of the vehicle. What's going on? That's what I mean about complying. Just listen to what they say. As officers approach his vehicle, Nazario's heard saying, I'm serving the country and this is how I'm treated. Before Gutierrez responds that he is also a veteran and learns to obey. So the guy says, I'm not getting out. I serve the country. You're going to treat me like this? And the cop says, I serve the country too. And I learned to obey the laws and listen to police and all that stuff. Basically telling him, from what it sounds like, you can't just not do anything you want because you serve the country. You still have to follow the rules. Thank you, Ronnie, for thumbsing it up. The lovely Ronnie. One of our faves here, one of our everydayers. As officers approach his vehicle, Nazario's heard say, I already said that. In another moment, Gutierrez is heard telling Nazario that he was fixing to ride the lightning some, a slang reference to the electric chair. That's probably why he got fired, let me tell you. Because even if you're in the right, you say something like that, especially in these day of times, you're instantly in the wrong. You can't drop lines like that. Somebody's in the wrong. You're trying to do the right thing. Get out of the car. They're not listening. You're still on the right. Then you say something like, the way you're acting is going to get you the electric chair. You just kind of threw away everything you were right about. Sorry. You're asking for it at that point. And so the next thing he says, I've not committed any crime. You can't say that either because you still have to comply with them. You can't just tell them I haven't committed a crime and they say, okay, well, have a good day and let you leave. Then he says, I'm honestly afraid to get out. And that's when they say, yeah, dude, you should be. So this is the second thing that they did wrong. So as this progresses, I feel like they started kind of in the right. But as this progresses, they definitely got stupid. You just told him, yeah, you should be scared to get out. And I understand that their defense is going to be, well, I meant because he was being difficult. And so he should be scared because he's making the job hard on us. And so that's why he doesn't want to come out, whatever. But we all know that's going to be determined as a threat. And it probably should be. So that's the second thing these cops did wrong and why they lost their job. Or one of them. After the officers attempt to pull Nazario, who kept his hands raised in the air the whole time, out of his vehicle, one of the officers pepper sprays the Army vet 4 times, according to CNN, which cited Nazario's complaint. I don't really know the answer to this one. I mean, you might think, well, they shouldn't pepper spray him when he's sitting there with his hands up because, he's not doing anything. So there's that side to it. But there's also the side that when they tell you 10 times, get out of the car, and you just keep saying, no, I didn't do anything. That's not how police stops work. If that was the case, no criminals would be arrested ever. So, the cops go up and like, sir, can I have you get out? Oh, actually, officer, I do not have a car full of drugs. Oh, okay, good day. And then they drive home. Doesn't work like that. So as much as I have to say this shouldn't just be pepper spraying a guy with his hands in the air, at a certain point when you don't obey enough times, you force them to get forceful with you. So that one's iffy. I don't really know. I don't know where I stand on that. So again, I try to look at each scenario and see what I think, who I think messed up in what situation. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm not the end all be all, that's for sure. Toby is. He's sitting next to me. Every time he gets a treat, he gives out one piece of wisdom. Right, Toby? One piece of wisdom that changes somebody's life. Following an internal investigation, the towns of Gutierrez did not follow department policy. Okay, well, so they did their investigation. That's what they determined, so I will go with them. They have not provided any further information on the fate of Officer Daniel Crocker, but said the department is requiring additional training. All right. The Windsor Police Department did not immediately respond to people's requests for comment. So since the one that got fired is the one that pepper sprayed, I'm going to guess that's probably why. Well, actually, hang on one second. So the one that got fired is the one that pepper sprayed. He's also the one that said you should be. And I don't know if he's the one. No, I'm sorry. He's the one that said fixing to ride the lightning, son. So that was stupid. And I'm not sure. It doesn't say which one said you should be scared to get out. Just as one officer says that. So I don't know. But he did at least 2 of the 3 stupid things. Right, Pookie. That's what I mean. There seems to be this weird thing now that people feel like if they turn their phone on, they're automatically right. And there's also something where people watch a police video, know nothing about the context of it, and as soon as the police use force, they go, oh my God, look what, obviously they're wrong. What are they doing? It's like you don't know what happened before that. And, Toby's staring. He's looking at the treat bag, not me. That's what policemen's jobs are to get forceful with you when you decide you don't have to do anything that the rest of us have to do. So you can't just look at a video of some force happening and go, whoa, look, see what I mean? Having troubles right now with this computer. Oh, I'm sorry, Ronnie. Can you try restarting? Not the computer, but maybe just reload the web page. Alrighty, well, let's continue on. So if you guys remember, we did cover a Tennessee school shooting, unfortunately, recently. One's dead. A police officer is injured in the Knoxville, Tennessee high school shooting that we talked about, I believe, yesterday. Knoxville authorities are asking the public to avoid the area as the investigation remains active. That's what they said yesterday. So one person is dead. A police officer is injured after shooting Knoxville, Tennessee high school. On Monday afternoon, the KPD tweeted that officers responded to reports of a male subject who was possibly armed at Austin East High School. When officers arrived at the school, they found the suspect in a restroom, according to a press release issued Monday afternoon. He refused to come out of the restroom and reportedly fired shots when officers entered, hitting one officer. Police returned fire, and the suspect, who has since been identified as a student, was pronounced dead on the scene. So they got him. The injured officer was struck at least once and transported to UT Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. There are no other known victims. So wait a minute. So this kid didn't shoot anyone then, right? If you're getting out too for a wild gang. One's dead, that's the shooter, and a police officer is injured. It says no other victims. So I guess this kid was just shooting wildly at the school, maybe? Didn't hit anybody? Well, that's good. It's not often in a mass shooting that nobody actually gets shot other than the shooter, which, if anyone's going to have to go, it's going to it might as well be them. All right. And I said the next donation would be a double treat for Toby. And it's sent on behalf of Sarah White, who is one of our Facebook watchers, who comes in with $10. Thank you so much, Sarah. Coming in for Toby's double treat. Thank you so much. How do they call it, a mass shooting? Well, actually, I'm kind of calling it a mass shooting because I assumed it was. That's my mistake, Brittany. It's more of a school shooting. But nobody actually got shot but the shooter and a cop. So, I mean, other than the cop, I guess you'd say best case scenario, no students hit. So not really a mass shooting, I'm sorry. An attempted mass shooting, I should say. So this is coming from Sarah Toby. Toby, you got to say hi to Sarah. You know the rules. Say thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah. That's the Toby thank you pump. One treat. And one more from Sarah. Thank you so much to Sarah or Oliver. I don't really know who to credit. Yeah, it's not really a mass shooting. I'm just calling it that because I'm so used to seeing that. Yeah, the potential is definitely there, like Annie says, for a mass shooting. That's what the kid was going for, at least it would appear. Somebody starts shooting up a place. They are looking to hurt as many people as possible. A school, no less. All right, guys. So we're in the final 5-10 minutes. So I'm just going to finish up this story. Thank you so much, Sarah. And then we will finish. I do have an interview today coming at noon, so about an hour and 15 minutes. So I get to shave this crazy thing. So everyone who likes my beard, let me apologize. But I got a video interview with someone. I have to do it. So we're in the final 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll finish. We usually do the lightning round then. It's pretty much every donation has been the lightning round, double treats. So whatever. If any more come in, we'll do a final one for Toby. Final 5-10 minute. Whole show's been a dang lightning round. We'll get him double treats. We'll see if any more come in. So police returned the fire, and the subject, who has since been identified as a student, was pronounced dead on the scene. The injured officer was struck at least once and transported to UT Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. There are no other known victims. So an officer-involved shooting at Austin East High School. Knoxville police tweeting. Authorities are asking the public to avoid the area as the investigation remains active. Minutes after police's initial tweet announcing the incident, Knox County School Superintendent Bob Thomas confirmed that the school had been secured. They wrote it twice. School had been secured. I guess it's been double secured. Lame joke. As part of the officer-involved shooting protocol, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation will lead the investigation. All right, guys, we'll finish up there. Thank you, Annie. He likes sitting there now and doesn't move. Yeah, he never moves. He stays the whole show. All right, guys, that is it for our morning show. As typical, we'll probably do an afternoon / nightly show a little bit later as we wait for more news to come in. Let me go off and get my errands done and do this interview and see how it all goes. And I'll let you guys know tonight when I see you. And at night, we also have an interview on the main channel. So we're going to do another nighttime news show on this channel in a few hours. And then we'll have a nighttime interview on the main Jason Hebert channel. So make sure to catch as many of them as you can. All right, guys, I love you. I will see you soon. Thanks for a decent turnout today. Makes me feel good about the show. Stayed at about 20 people throughout the duration. That's pretty good numbers for the morning show. And we will see you in a few hours and then again tonight for our interview. It's going to be another good one, guys, so make sure to watch it. All right, I love you, and I will see you shortly. All Tobys, say goodbye. Jason and Toby out.